Hi friends, this is Caitlin. Today we're going to talk about how I tackle a card challenge, my thought process through the whole thing. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my card that I made for the current My Favorite Things color challenge. You can see it here listed on their blog. It's grape jelly, Caribbean sea, summer splash, and chantilly cream. I love this color challenge. I was feeling very uninspired. I wasn't sure what I wanted to make. And so I just started checking out some of my favorite brands' current challenges, and this color story just spoke to me. So you can see I have 3 of the inks here. I grabbed some coordinating paper. I'm using the Distress Antique Linen to fill in for the chantilly cream. And then I grabbed my abstract art, magical friends, and coffee break stamp sets from My Favorite Things. Before we jump into how I put this whole thing together, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can join our crafty family and you won't be missing out on any of the fun inspiration that I am bringing your way. So when I first saw the color challenge, the specific colors that were there, I knew I wanted to do something really whimsical and fun. And so I grabbed my inks first to make sure that I had what I needed. You don't have to use the My Favorite Thing inks. You can definitely use colors that were inspired, but I do have most of the minis. So I went ahead and grabbed those. And then I also have the Caribbean sea just paper, like cardstock. And I have a big collection of My Favorite Things pattern paper packs. So I grabbed the tiny dots that have the grape jelly, and there is a cool page on My Favorite Things website where you can see for each paper pack paper pad, what each, like the colors, the specific colors coordinating that are in each pad. So if you're not sure if something is the one that fits in with that color story, you can check on their website, which is just great. So I am now holding up my dragon die to make sure that the sentiment that I use is going to give me enough room, because I wanted to create a fun background, but I didn't want to create a whole scene for the little girl and the dragon that I'm going to be using today. So I just thought that the coffee break background or coffee break sentiment stamps would work perfectly with the dragon and the little girl drinking out of their mugs. This could be tea time. It could be coffee. So for size reasons, I picked the Friends by Friends coffee. And then I grabbed some of these abstract art kind of brush strokes. And I just, as soon as I saw those colors and I knew that there were 4, I thought that doing a fun color swatch kind of ombre as my background would be really fun. And I love these abstract stamps. I don't get to play with them enough. So my brain just immediately went there. So then I was like, well, how am I going to lay these out? So I put all 4 colors up the background. The Summer Splash and the Caribbean Sea look very similar in the video, but in real life you can tell them apart a little bit better. I also think my ink pad is a little bit dry, but then I didn't like how bold the white stripes were. So I ended up going back in with the same stamp, just shifted directly above the one that I had used and stamped multiple times. And for those, I just stamped once. So this is going to help to kind of softly fill in and again, really give that gradient feel to the whole thing without having to worry about actually ink blending anything. So that was my little color background done and taken care of. Super easy. And that's fun because with that kind of background, you could put anything on the top. It could be any theme, any critters, flowers. They have that beautiful mason jar stamps that just came out. They just came out with like a bathroom spa kit. Those could go on top of that with that abstract lines. You could use it for anything. So I am going to do my Copic coloring now. I went through with my Sandy Allnock hex chart and picked out marker colors that I felt coordinated really well with the color scheme. My purples weren't exact, but they're close enough on that kind of BV family. And the darker BV markers that I'm going to use are going to pull enough blue in that it leans into that cooler purple tone that the grape jelly has. It's not a very like pinky purple. It's definitely more of a bluey purple. So I also grabbed some teals that were going to fall kind of right between the Caribbean Sea and the summer splash. I did pull in a little bit of a BG just for the leaves, but it's so tiny, you're really not going to notice. And then because I knew that the dragon his bum was going to be sitting on the purple stripe at the bottom, I just decided from that alone that I wanted to make the bulk of his body the teal and make the center, his belly, his wings, and his little ear flaps in the purple instead of the other way around. Just again, kind of assessing how all of my colors are showing up. I've heard a lot of people say when you're working within a color scheme that you want a lot of one color, medium of another color, and then just a splash of the third color. I guess I kind of followed this because the Chantilly cream is definitely less popular, less apparent on my card, right? It's really just kind of like in the little girl's hair and then on its stripe in the background, versus the teal and purple definitely carry the bulk of the color weight on my card. And I would say that the teal is definitely the most prevalent just because the dragon, the stripes, it has double the stripes, and then it has the furthest back cardstock panel, the main panel, all have that teal, versus the purple is just his belly, his stripes, and then a little bit on that polka dot. I don't know. I don't follow that exactly to a T, but I guess by default it kind of ends up that way. But if you are somebody who is still trying to kind of get a hold of how to pick those and what to use, that might be a good default thing for you to start with. Definitely a good guideline to follow if you're unsure of where to go with those colors. So I filled in his horns and his little triangle back spikes with the same markers as her hair and her chair. Again, just pulling in that tiny little bit of cream color into it. I just thought it would be so much purple if his horns and his spikes were all purple, as well as his belly and his ear flaps and his mug. So I went in with a white gel pen and added some little freckles to all of the areas where I added darker marker as well, which is kind of on his butt and his tail, his elbow, and right above his nose. And then I gave them little eye highlights, which is something I really love to do. It just adds a lot of character to these kind of images, I think. And I decided to adhere all of I adhered my purple panel flat to my teal, but I did pop up this, this was actually a piece of watercolor cardstock that I'm using the smooth side of for this. I wasn't planning on watercoloring, I just really like the texture and the weight of it for this card. So now I'm just kind of placing my little people around. I just love using these kinds of challenges as a way to kind of inspire myself. Like I said, when I don't know where I want to start with a project, or I know I want to create, but I don't have anything pre-picked out. I did pick this stamp set because this is the same stamp set, the Magical Friends stamp set, that I will be using in my Card Maker Success Summit class on Friday. And I won't have a video up on Friday because I'll be doing a Facebook Live that afternoon with the Card Summit. And so I just thought it would be fun to give you guys another peek at this stamp set and another way to use it if it's something that you have in your stash or you decide that you need in your stash. And I absolutely love it. It has so many adorable images, and I just thought it would be cute to show you another way to use it besides the interactive shaker card that I am showing with my class. So if you haven't signed up for the class and you want to, it is free to attend the summit. It starts this weekend. It's from February 23rd to the 26th. I will leave a link down in the description box for you if you decide that you want to join. The early bird pricing does end Wednesday night at midnight if you decide that you want the VIP All Access Pass, which gets you forever access to the courses, so you don't have to worry about rushing through them on the weekend. But yeah, this is our card color challenge complete. I will leave the link down in the description box below for the My Favorite Things blog post where you can get all the details if you want to enter in as well. And if you do, it would be really fun if you tag me or just send it to me in a DM on Instagram. I love seeing what you guys make. I hope that you have an amazing week. And as always, happy crafting.